this Cruise America camper that we have hired. It's a 4-berth C21 camper, and we have travelled from Seattle down to LA. Well, kind of got to go back to LA, and so we thought we'd tell you a little bit about it, just so you can see if this is the right vehicle for you. Come on in. So welcome to the inside. You can see already in here that the camper is this kind of dark wood veneer. It is not my personal cup of tea. One reason is I think I just don't like it. The second reason is because it's so dark, particularly in the winter. It gets so dark in here. There was one day we were driving and I was working in the back, all strapped in, all legal and all of that, but it was so dark even in the middle of the day. Now the reason, there aren't many windows, but we'll talk about those in a minute. So everything in here is quite new, quite fresh. The RV has only done a couple of thousand miles. So being a 4-berth camper, you've got 2 beds. 2 people can sleep above the cab area. This is where we've chosen to sleep. It made sense for us because there's only 2 of us in here, and that way we could have a separate bed from our dining living area down the back. The cab, this is the mattress. It's not super comfortable. That wouldn't come as a great shock, but actually almost to the point it is, for us anyway, a bit uncomfortable. We bought the personal kit that went along with the rental of the RV, and that had in it, you know, comforters and things like that. So we've got one on top and one underneath just to give us a bit more padding. And if you were renting this in the US or renting in Cruise Canada and you could bring your own bedding, I would go down that route if I were you. In terms of spaciousness, it's fine. There's plenty of room up here for both of us, and it's quite easy to get up with the footholds, and then up here, and then a handrail. So there's no worries about safety or anything like that. One reason that we rented the C21 is that we wanted to have our own bathroom while we're on the road. So this is the bathroom. In any RV, spaces at a premium. So here it is, right next to the bedroom. Before I show you it, I just want to say this is not what we recommend doing. But here's the bathroom. It's fully equipped with its own sink, shower up the side, and then a Thetford toilet. Now you can't see that because this giant snowboarding bag is in the way. That wasn't our plan. We'd hoped to be able to put that underneath the RV in the storage compartment, but our bag's just too big. So that means that when we need to have a shower or wash or use a bathroom or anything, you have to pick this guy up, move it out of the way, and then put it back before we start driving. It means when we're parked up at nights, we've just put that out of the way, and then we've had free and easy use of the bathroom. Part of the rental, if you freaked out a little bit by bathrooms and RVs, you can pay a bit extra to have them empty out your tank, your black tank and your grey tank. I don't know if we're going to do that. We may or may not. We've prepaid it and we can get that money back. Being van owners ourselves, bathrooms aren't that disgusting for us, so happy to do whatever. Let's move on into the kitchen. So I'm going to take all of one step, and I'm now here in the kitchen. So we have a very large sink with water that comes from the fresh water tank. They do recommend that you don't drink the water because you can't guarantee the quality, so we do have bottled water for drinking and cooking with as well, but it's great for washing dishes. On this side of the kitchen we've got a 3-ring propane cooker. We've only used 1 or 2 pans I think at a time, maybe one, just one at a time. It's pretty big. One of the things I'd say about this is it does take up quite a lot of space, and you don't actually have any counter space. If this were mine, I'd probably pivot this that way and just have 2 cookers, and then you can have some prep space because there's not much counter space at all. Up above we've got cabinets. These are pretty deep, quite decent sized, and so we've got, you know, the essentials, food, and then there's plates, oil, that kind of thing up here as well. So that's been great for our food storage. And then below we've got plenty of storage. All of this, not that, but everything else comes with the kitchen kit that we also rented from Cruise America. So that way, part of our personal kit is we get our own tea towels, you get cups, bowls, plates, plenty of pots and pans, but we haven't wanted for anything. Fridge, however, I really like. I like that it's at this height rather than under the bench. It locks in, so you're super safe. And then it's a really decent size, and it runs on power, on electricity, battery power as well as gas, so you can flick between the two. You've got various controls. It's great. Don't judge the amount of food that's in here or what's in here. Today is our last full day in the camper, and so we're trying to just eat up the cheese and the grapes and drink the water. All right, I'm going to turn you around and take you to the living room / second bedroom. Welcome to the second bedroom. Just to talk briefly about storage. So I mentioned that this RV can sleep 4 people. In terms of storage, you've got one cupboard here, and this is a really deep cupboard. So that's my suitcase bag in there. It comes with hangers. You can hang up your jackets. Well, mine's fallen over. We also keep our backpacks in here, and then underneath we've got a really deep drawer, easy to get at, where we're keeping our toiletries, and then another one where we kept our towels. Up here above the dinette bed there are 4 overhead cabinet bins. These are quite good. If you had 4 people in here, and so obviously 2 would be sleeping here, 2 up there, there's actually, I'm not convinced there's enough storage. We've unpacked our bags fully, so, well, we've unpacked our bags mostly, so we've got our clothes. These are Daryl's, these are mine. I mean, there's still room up there, but if you were trying to fit 2 more people's worth of stuff in here, I think it would be a bit of a squish. Okay, so we have a dinette here at the back. This table folds down, the leg goes under here, and then these cushions make up part of the bed. We actually don't like dinette beds ourselves, eh? They're not for us. It means that if you're sleeping in the dinette, you've only got, like, there's no option, I suppose, for people to, someone to go to bed early and the other one to stay awake. The other thing I'd say about the dinette bed, which obviously we don't know, but there are little window coverings. You can probably see through the light that they're not that light blocking, but this window doesn't have a window covering, so if you're light sensitive, this is probably not for you.
Here we are at the driver's seat. It is a relatively new vehicle. It's something, as Megan alluded to, it's only got a few thousand miles on it. It has cruise control, so that makes that easy, as long as obviously there's no traffic in front of you that would cause you any concern. We've also got a pretty basic setup here when where it comes to a radio, and also for aircon and that as well. It does have good outlets there for your USBs and USB-Cs, so that was one good part. We have brought our own satellite navigational system, which has been quite helpful, but they also did have them on offer if you wanted to rent them from Cruise America as well. It's I think the vehicle itself holds about 40 gallons of unleaded gas, but in saying that though, those 40 gallons probably will only take us about 400 miles, which I think is about 600 k's roughly, so it does take quite a bit of fuel, and for our long trips we're generally been refilling up once every day, so it has taken a little bit, I guess, of a hit to the pocket in that sense. But I guess if you're thinking of the drive is the experience and that's what you're wanting, then you're happy to pay that. And of course, most of the time, bar one night, we have not been sleeping in an RV park. We've just found appropriately sited rest areas that we could stay for the night. So bar that one night, we haven't paid anything at all for any sites at all. So in that side, there's been a very limited cost in that.
we found those sites. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, I should say there's a dog on the door. It just scared me because I forgot that the door was open. We found all those sites with the iOverlander app. So if you go and you can look for established campsites such as RV parks, or you could do a bit of stealth camping, freedom camping, which is what we've done, and have had no problems. Not one.
Probably one other limitation I'd say is that there is no rear camera for reversing, so being pretty much just checking behind there before moving to see that we were being clear, and of course it is a rather big vehicle too, but it's
big for us, but not for an RV.
It's wide, but I guess it's not quite as long as what you would kind of think. So in that sense, it's not so bad that way.
So we can fit into a normal car park.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the stick?
Yeah, we've so this is where the control column is to go into reverse and drive and park. There's also a brake down here by your foot to engage the brake, and it's also got the release handle is right there as well. So that was a one little trick that we had to ask about as we were leaving, because I couldn't find out where it was. But and that, I suppose in a sense, it's been good to drive, though with any other type of RV, as you could expect, when there's a bit of a side wind, it can get a little bit pushy as well, though, but I guess you would tend to expect that. While editing this, we realised that unfortunately it was a bit windy on the outside, so we're doing this at a later stage in a less windy environment. We've got our freshwater inlets here, nice and easy. Then we've got also some outside storage. As you can see, this is where I've got my bag at the moment, and this storage area also has lights in here as well. You also see that storage goes all the way through. Now, as you can see, all these access areas have their own keys, which is great in that sense. It makes it all nice and safe, but you do have to make sure where all the keys all go to the right places. And underneath where the storage compartment is where the freshwater hose is kept. Now, coming around the other side, you can also access the storage compartment here as well. And then underneath this is where the shore power connection is. And then going to the next part is where the freshwater inlet for your freshwater is connected to. And here are where the fittings are for the hoses for both the grey and black tanks. The connections are very easy to be connected. Down here is where the grey and black water tanks are. Alright, and that's pretty much the nuts and bolts of our rental van that we had. Now, if you have your own comments about this van, please let us know in the comments below. Likewise, if you want to like and subscribe, please do.